This is the Ice Beam. Now, if you're familiar with Project M, you might remember this as a special stance that comes whenever Samus presses the side taunt. However, here, oh, she can do it in the air. This completely replaces her down B with the ability to enter the Ice stance. Ice affects a few of her moves, notably down tilt, up smash, forward smash, forward air, her missiles, as well as up throw. Think of this as a next iteration of Project M's Ice Beam. You might also be wondering, well, does that mean bombs are gone? Well, not quite. Samus now has the ability to crawl on the ground, and when you press the special button while crawling, you can spawn bombs. Now, of course, you can't spam bombs back to back. There's a small cooldown on each bomb, but this gives her a unique crawl special, completely new to her. Let's start her moveset off with down tilt. Now, in charge mode, this is a pretty just fast explosion. In Ice Beam moveset, it's a long icicle that pretty much pokes really far out in front of her. Pretty good for coverage. However, the move also leaves her really vulnerable considering how long it lasts. If you happen to be on a slope or a stage that just doesn't, or near the edge of a stage, all it will do is this quick little ice shot. It's quick, but it's also not as powerful. So consider using this move on flat surfaces rather than off stage. Next we have forward smash. She forms a giant icicle from her arm beam cannon and slashes away at opponents. The range is pretty alright, and because it's a sword-like move, you know it has a tipper. You can use this move as well as interchangeably with her charge variant. Her charge variant is good for having different angles, and her ice variant is pretty good if you can get that tipper. Up smash is pretty familiar, not because it's also Joker's animation, but you've seen this from Project M. Unlike her charge variant, which is rather unreliable, if I do say so, this move launches opponents straight out in front of her. It's pretty weak at lower percents, and it doesn't rack up damage as well, but at higher percents, this is great for just launching opponents completely into the air. Forward air is also a move that needs no introduction. It's the classic haymaker. Just like Mario, Banjo, and pretty much every other character with this haymaker, pretty strong move. It just sacrifices that long-lasting hitbox that you get from Charge Beam. So it's up to you to decide whether you want to just go for it all and hope you hit the sweet spot, or if you're more into getting that extra damage that comes from her Charge Beam version. Neutral Special is also a new one to this Samus movement set. It can be charged and released. It's mostly based off the Smash 4 Melee Beam custom, where this move cannot be reflected or absorbed. And unique to this one, a fully charged variant will freeze opponents. Now, if you have it uncharged, it's not going to do too much. And considering it's a lot less range than the infamous charge shot, you gotta be very careful and precise about when you want to use this. Keep in mind when switching between beams, you'll lose your current charge. So you won't be able to charge an Ice Beam, and then just get a free full charge shot from that. Her missiles are the last big change to her moveset. While in charge form, you could only shoot super missiles. And while in ice form, you can only shoot ice missiles. Now, unlike the name suggests, ice missiles don't actually freeze your opponents. They're just good at doing a little bit more knockback. They're a little bit faster than her homing missiles, but they don't home in quite as much as her original missiles. These are still pretty good for popping opponents up if you can. Works great in conjunction with her forward air and the rest of her moveset to combo off of it. Think of them as, perhaps, something like Young Link's fire arrows. In addition to all of her normal and special changes, she has one unique throw change. It is a bit of a nerf, but it looks a lot cooler now. She now, similar to Falco and Fox, shoots a missile at her opponents whenever she throws them. And of course, the missile is based off of if you're in ice form or in charge form. And that's her new Ice Beam moveset. You want to use your Ice Beam movesets when close to your opponents, as well as comboing off a missile into forward air to knock them away quickly. Perhaps you'll want to stay in charge shots to keep a distance from your opponents, and wait for the right moment to launch your charge attack. It's up to you to change between each mode when the situation sees fit.
Surface of planet Zebes, Samus Aran faced the space pirates. She destroyed their operation, wiped out the parasites called Metroids, and defeated Mother Brain. But the pirates were far from finished.